All right, we are back at another video. If you are new and you do not know who I am Sean Fletcher, and the reason why I'm here is, in a nutshell, I have experienced like sort of a identity shift or transformation, working offshore on tugboats, becoming a marketing manager for a multi-million dollar sports brand, and then working for several other agencies in the marketing world. And so without a degree or even finishing high school. And so you can imagine how many limiting beliefs that I had during that process or during that time. I'm 39 years old, so this is when I started working offshore when I was like early 20s, like 21 or something like that. And so it's been a long path to try and understand that I needed to do something different in order to get where I want to be, right? With all the limiting beliefs. So I was able to overcome that. So that's that part. That is the sort of the identity transformation that I kind of want to show my experience on what worked for me. And then if hopefully it'll work for you. But then there's this other layer that sort of within that time and a little bit further out and up until now, I have been, working and doing marketing for like 10 years, right? So I have this weird, unique sort of position when it comes to sort of marketing and business and branding experience, and then this interesting mindset identity transformation. And so I'm essentially combining the two in creating this what I like to call a lifestyle business. You can call it a freedom business. You can just call it a business, but I like lifestyle business because the idea here is that it actually gives me time for freedom for time, so I can essentially just do this at any moment in the day. It gives me location freedom, so I could essentially do it anywhere in the world if I want to. And then sort of creative expression. It gives me freedom to talk and work on and research the things that I'm actually into, right? And so that's why I'm here. And all of that, I have created sort of a roadmap that I think is creme de la creme. I've never said that before. But yeah, I think it's great. And I'm basically going into the phases, and there's 4. So the last video, I kind of go into sort of high level the 4 phases, and the first phase is the foundation, and it's number 1 because, in my opinion, it is the most important, because everything else is sort of tactical, and you can't do anything any of that. None of that actually matters until you actually sort of embody this foundational process, which is a lot of people skip over it. That's sort of the issue. And so they skip over it because it's woo woo, or they just don't believe in it. I'm here to tell you that this stuff really works if you actually sort of understand it and read through it and kind of do the thing. From, like I said, no diploma, didn't finish high school, I went and was able to join or get into the merchant mariner, become a merchant mariner, not the military, but it is a civilian tugboat sort of industry. I had to go through and get, Coast Guard credentials and all that good stuff. And so I overcame that, and then I didn't want to do that anymore. And so I sort of learned and taught myself how to do marketing, and here I am. And so, and that's sort of the problem or the culprit here that I'm seeing is that, and the experience that I had was that would commit, and this might be you as well. It's where you commit to something for, a week, 2 weeks, and then it sort of starts to taper off or kind of just dwindles off. It just starts to, oh man, you'll go to the gym and then you're doing the gym thing, and it's just like, cool, one weekend you're crushing it. Week 2, you're just like, all right, yeah, I got this. Week 3, you kind of miss a day, and then you miss another day, and then it just falls flat. And then within a month, you're not going to the gym anymore. And this can be with anything. This is business. This is the health. This could be with relationships. It really doesn't matter. It is the ability to follow through, which is the most important part. And so this is part of the foundation. And I like to really understand it. And the way I conceptualize it is taking my word as law. So what I say I'm going to do is I do it. And you want to start small here because it can backfire on you. And so what I mean by that is that if you say, I want to start waking up at 7 a.m., it's early, not too early. But let's say you've been, kind of struggling in that area. Just tell yourself, I'm going to wake up at 7 a.m. and then do it. And so what happens is that you're going to give your mind, and I'm going to say it, the universe, it'll give you and the universe sort of these these points, if you will, that you are sort of owning your direction, or you're owning what you say. Because if you can't do what you say, then what makes you think that anything else is going to matter? Like anything else is going to come to you if you can't even, say what you're going to do, right? If you can't follow through, then what the heck's going on here? And so for me, that was like one of the main sort of aha moments was that, like, I need to start getting better at following through. And so I had to start small. So within all of this foundational work, it is you becoming a person that essentially takes his word as law, right? And there's a better way. I wrote notes. You become a person who keeps their word. Yeah, you become a person who keeps their word. And when that starts to happen and you start small, it'll grow. That sort of muscle starts to grow. So then when you're doing stuff like this or going to the gym, it's not that big of a deal anymore, because that's just who you become. You become a person that, takes their word as law and follows through on their word, right? The main shift was becoming somebody that follows through, right? And it's like, all right, I am a person that follows through on everything that I say I'm going to do. And then, like I said, you start small. And then when you actually do some really cool stuff, like, working on a business, you're just going to follow through because you've already sort of embodied that person or that identity or that frequency. With that, when you are following through on everything, you take control. And what I mean by that is you take control of your life in regards of what you want. You are designing your life rather than letting it just happen, right? By default. And so I really love that concept. You're designing your life and not letting the world just like tell you what you need to do. You take control over it. And so that is just the profound thing that I've really just kind of discovered. And that is really the main thing. So once you embody that, once you start designing your life and following through on what you say you're going to do, everything else is smooth. All the tactics will work. Like, the tactics work already. It's not the tactics. It's not the strategies. It's none of that. It is the ability to follow through, the self-mastery of saying what you, like, whatever you're going to do, you got to do it. If you want it, then it's that simple, right? It's like this is what I want to do. I truly want to do this. Now I have to just embody this type, like I have to become this type of person that does these things. Not, oh, I'm a person that like makes content. That's fine. It can be anything. I'm a person, and that's I think that is an important element. It's like I tell myself that I am an active person. And so I'm an active person by nature. I'm just active. Like, that's just what I do. And so that's just part of it, right? So yeah, sometimes it sounds all woo-woo, but this stuff's really important and it's really powerful because, like I said earlier, the tactics and the strategies, that stuff already works. The information on the internet, all of that is there. Like you can Google and ChatGPT absolutely anything you want. I mean, it's incredible. We have so many opportunities in this world, and all the tools that we have. It's just like sometimes it's overwhelming. I get it. But once you decide on what it is that you want, you lock in and you just start crushing it. Word is law. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it off there. Would love for you to join the Unconventional Path, which is my community, a free community. You're more than welcome to join. Come in, introduce yourself. This is the kind of stuff that we're talking about. That would be awesome for you to come in. If you're having some issues with this type of thing, feel free to reach out. There's a bug. Feel free to reach out. That would be awesome. Later.